Hello and welcome to Sterling Lee Fine Art video blog. This is vlog number. And this has been my artistic week. Hello and welcome again to Sterling Lee Fine Art, my artistic week. This week, what I wanted to talk about was what I actually do as a day job, what actually still pays most of the bills, that supplements my artistic endeavours. And I just wanted to talk about what I actually do 40 odd hours a week in that. So, I am actually a trained mechanical engineer and project manager. What does that actually mean? Well, what I used to do many years ago was design machines. So I designed machines to deburr radiators, I designed machines to assemble toilet fresheners, I designed machines to assemble accelerator pedals, printed circuit boards, all sorts of stuff, and also lots and lots of car tooling for automotive plants. So when you see the cars shuttling along on an automotive conveyor and all of the various bits of tooling that pop up and hold them when the spot welders come down, do you like all the hand signals? This is automation, actually real time. Yeah, all that stuff to hold body panels in position so they can get welded and make cars. So I've done a lot of machinery design, which so I'm told is all to do with the left side of the brain. Left side of the brain is really all to do with sequencing and linear thinking, mathematics, and basically engineering principles. So it's a little bit strange because I'm also told that artistic endeavour, creative thinking and that sort of thing is on the right side of the brain. So don't tell my wife, because she'll never believe you, but I actually use both sides of my brain apparently. Yes, I know, I can't believe it either. Yeah, so it's an intriguing situation where, from what you read, different parts of the brain control different parts of your thought process. However, whichever side I'm using, they must be interlinked in some capacity. But it is basically a very different doctrine from drawing straight lines and circles for machinery to drawing and painting ballerinas with gold leaf. It's very, very, very different, as I'm sure you will agree. You don't tend to see many ballerinas in engineering drawing offices. Well, maybe on the odd occasion, but they are quite few and far between. So that's what I do as a day job, and it's not what I do on my weekends. So yeah, the actual creative process of how do I get to what I want the painting to be, what do I want the artwork to look like from the get-go, that all does involve, for me at any rate, a degree of linear thinking and a degree of planning and a degree of actually, if I start here, then I want it to go to there, which all must be the left side of the brain. And the right side comes into how am I going to flow this line from her shoulder down to her hip and then onto her legs. How am I going to display the muscle tone and the different curves, because there's no straight lines in a human being, obviously. So yeah, there's quite a bit of different thinking and different thought patterns going on to construct a piece of artwork. But there's also the how am I going to get this done? Where do I start? What materials do I use? What techniques am I going to use? How is it going to sit in the frame? Do I want to decorate the frame? Do I want to put gold leaf in the frame, outside the frame? What size shall I make it? How do I perceive the whole image to be constructed? So again, there's logical thinking and there's creative thinking in the process from both ends. I would probably say that the engineer in me, the project manager in me, does start off the process, because obviously, as I've said, you have to think I want the end piece to look like this, which very rarely, from my point of view, and I know quite a few other artists that I've talked to, you very rarely get the end piece from what you started. It's going to look something like what you imagined, but generally there's something comes up along the way where one line will just change something for you, or one brushstroke, or one colour, or whatever. However you interact with your canvas, paper, board, card, it can develop a mind of its own, and you will have to either adapt to it or remove it and change it and start again. Most of the time I prefer to try to adapt to this, because it then gives you a freedom and a spontaneity and a realism about what you're trying to do, rather than an overly constructed thought process like if I was an engineer. So I'm trying to break away from that, I guess, in my artwork, and the finished results is as you've seen. Lots of curves. Now moving into more reflective materials with the gold leaf and the silver leaf and the copper leaf, and moving away from the very linear and orderly work that I used to do for quite some time a while ago. Many years ago when I first started this, because I've got a massive interest in cars and mostly in Formula One racing. Don't all switch off. And don't talk about the last race of last season. Please don't talk about that. I did draw racing cars, motorcycles and that sort of stuff, because it must have been something I was familiar with. Coming from the pre-computer aided design, pre-CAD days, when I started my apprenticeship off, when we were drawing, basically drawing on stone walls in caves, as some of my colleagues will have you believe, and you know, spray painting with your hands and drawing antelopes. Now, when we were drawing on drawing boards with pencil and ink outlines, yeah, drawing in ink and writing with ink pens, not quills, actual proper technical pens. Back in those days, when you just had to have everything perfectly straight, had to be in line and all the rest of it. And there was a little bit of creativity, because you could always, if you bothered, like I was at the time, you could always style your own printing to set your drawings apart, and you could always tell one of your drawings without even looking at the signature on the bottom right hand corner. So that's probably a little bit of creativity that's creeping into my general working all those years ago. That's less apparent in my day job now, because I'm a project manager, and I just manage stuff from start to finish. I have to oversee all of the engineering design and the principles of the design and the manufacturing and the procurement and the assembly and the customer interaction. So that little bit of creativity that was in my job has been removed. However, that's more than adequately been replaced in what I do for this. So there you are. That's what I do on a regular basis. That's where my overall creative ability comes from, and is supported by. And there we go. So hopefully moving on to more creative things in the future. And yeah, there we are. So if you like what you've seen, hopefully you do, please subscribe, leave me some nice comments, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks very much.